There's no such thing as healthy at any weight. And they were pushing this. They still are pushing this idea.
Well, it's not that you can be healthy at any weight. It's that we are actually unhealthy at every weight now. Even people who are thin now,
You're healthier with your thin.
Well, there is a concept of metabolically healthy obese, and there's also TOFI, which you may have heard of, thin on the outside, fat on the inside, which means sort of visceral fat around the organs. And that's a thin person who's going to have a lower life expectancy than potentially a heavy person who has metabolic health. So, oh shit, I'm allowed to say our truth.
Nothing scares people like health. Of all the issues I've ever discussed on this show, and that's all of them over a long time, the ones that have gotten me the most hate, health issues, like obesity. Like that is the ultimate third rail. Like when I did it, even other anchors would call me up and say, I can't believe you talked about that. Yeah, because you have to talk. How can you not talk about it? I mean, it's the number one health factor of this country. Well, it gives you a disconnect. And I'll give you an interesting thing that MK will understand immediately. When you're looking at focus groups, okay, for a campaign or a candidate, right? Very often you will, for a period, watch them with the sound down, because what you're looking for is body language affinity, where like they're all getting it. If you think about the disparate ideas at this table, and when you talk about the idea of, there's something in our food, there's a lot of stuff in our food that probably shouldn't be there. And every time they look, the more they find that can kill you. Everybody's head is going like this. Yeah, I think the food's a problem. My question to you is, if everybody's head is nodding like this, what is keeping anything from ever happening that moves us in the direction that the food is delicious? That's the problem. That's what it is. I'll tell you, who comes back from Italy.
Now, while this may sound clever, it might sound funny, it's a good thing to say by Bill Maher to get a clap and to get a cheer from the crowd, but it's actually not true. The reason why nothing is getting done is not because the food tastes good, right? It's just that we as a community, as a people, have not pressured these institutions to do the right thing when it comes to the food. And these industries by themselves have not done anything to stop this from happening when it comes to the food. If we start being more aware and start applying more pressure and start demanding that the food be better, then it's going to be better. But just to say, well, nothing is being done because it tastes good, that's a clever thing to say, and it's funny, ha ha ha, clap. Oh, I'm on the Bill Maher show, I'm an audience member. But no, that's not the reason why it's not getting done.
I wait to get some ragu.
That's right. I mean, in Italy, the food it's more delicious.
But we don't live in Italy. You live near McDonald's.
Yeah, but
What? I mean, this is not rocket science. Well, I don't know that our food I'm not talking about like the food is delicious. It is.
in America.
If I had 6 months to live, I'd eat McDonald's every night. And if I ate McDonald's every night, I'd have 6 months to live. Yes. So look, I was on his McDonald's isn't delicious? Who are we fucking kidding?
Yeah.
It's delicious.
See, I mean, you should talk, but
I never have it, but it's delicious. And how do you know? I've had it. Have they changed the formula? I don't think so. Coca-Cola, also delicious product. I can see the success. When they put the Big Mac on the thing and the guy comes back 3 months later and it looks the same way, I was out. This holds up better than my hairline. I'm not gonna eat. Yeah,
but you know what's in it, and you still are able to find deliciousness in it.
I don't eat it. This is not rocket science, people. I know something's delicious, and I know it's bad for me, so I don't eat it. Is that so hard to understand?
The weird thing in all of this is she's supposed to be a doctor in the black shirt, Dr. Cassie Means, and she's just completely shocked by everything that's being said. She's like, wow, what? Oh, what? Wow. Like, yeah, people like McDonald's, people like fast foods. It's delicious. It puts a smile on your face. That's why they have the smile arc when it comes to McDonald's. People like it. It's not rocket scientists.
Let's not deny that the one reason why people still do this is because people are always making decisions. All we are doing this every day, present versus the future. If I stay up another hour, I'll be tired in the morning, but I want to watch this.
Like
I do it all the time.
you're 100% right about McDonald's and it tasting good, and that's one of the reasons we do it. And also, Casey's right about the McDonald's doing something to your body that then makes your body want more McDonald's. That's how.
For engineering you to think that it's purposely addictive, like a drug, right?
We have everyone butts their head, but nothing gets done because there are a bunch of moneyed interests here, and maybe you need, I don't know, a disruptor. Yes, to make something happen.
Over 20% of our GDP is dependent on us not talking about obesity. Honestly, 17% of our GDP goes to healthcare and a huge portion more goes to ultra-processed food. And there is a chokehold on talking about anything that could make people feel empowered to not take part in that system, which depends on us being addicted to processed food and then sicken in the
And again, for the people who are going to yell at me because, oh my God,
Actually, it's not true. 17% of our GDP does not go to healthcare. It's actually higher than that. If I remember correctly, to be honest, half of all of our spending goes to healthcare and Social Security. And more than half of it, out of that 50%, is healthcare. I believe it's about 30%. So it's not 17%. She's completely wrong. But nevertheless, let's get back to the video.
defending Robert Kennedy. Well, just remember, your view on obesity from the left, to go into that roster of things that I said that they're crazy about, was, first of all, it's body positivity. Was there ever more Orwellian phrase than that? It was it's not, there's nothing positive about it. I mean, when you're eating it, it's positive, tastes great. And beauty's in the eye of the beholder. If you find, someone large be beautiful, that's fine. But science is not in the eye of the beholder. Science is science. And body positivity and healthy at any weights, there's no such thing as healthy at any weight. And they were pushing this. They still are pushing this idea.
Well, it's not that you can be healthy at any weight. It's that we are actually unhealthy at every weight now. Even people who are thin now,
You're healthier with your thin.
Well, there is a concept of metabolically healthy obese, and there's also TOFI, which you may have heard of, thin on the outside, fat on the inside, which means sort of visceral fat around the organs. And that's a thin person who's going to have a lower life expectancy than potentially a heavy person who has metabolic health. So that's why I think reorienting the conversation away from the very emotionally charged obesity conversation towards, are you fundamentally, cellularly, metabolically healthy? It's unemotional. And right now, 93% of Americans are not. And we all need to understand that of our health, because 93.2, according to the Journal of the American College of Cardiology, 2022 paper, showed that only 6.8% of Americans have optimal metabolic health biomarkers. And metabolic health is the most foundational aspect of all health.
The cell stuff.
But is that too high a standard, like of?
No, it's actually incredibly lenient. The actual ranges that they put for metabolic health are vastly more lenient than what I would consider optimal. For instance, a triglyceride less than 150, we want to shoot for 50 to 60. So no, I think if you actually had optimal ranges, it would be about 2%.
I read something on TikTok that cholesterol is not really a thing.
Ended my analysis. Can I end it?
So this concept that was spoken about, what Dr. Cassie means, is obviously just not true, right? And what part of it is not true? So she's a metabolic doctor. She's done lots of research on this, and what she's saying about metabolic health is probably true. Who am I to speak about that? But at the end of the day, it has been concluded undoubtedly, when you look at the research, is it possible to be healthy and to be obese at the same time? And the answer is no, okay? You cannot be obese and be healthy at the same time. It is not possible. So, is there a rare situation where a skinny person can have this metabolic health that's problematic for them and their numbers look bad? And then you have an obese person that actually has good numbers when given a blood sample or urine sample. Okay, yeah, well, that's a minute minority and specific situation that she is speaking about. Because in general, you cannot be obese and be healthy. Why? Because if you are supposed to be 150 pounds for your size, okay, your height, and your height and your age, something of that combination, for example, and you are 300 pounds, your heart has to work 2 to 3 times harder than the heart of somebody who is skinny, for example, who might have blood pressure that's lower than normal and a pulse rate that's that's lower than normal, because their body does not have to work as hard to maintain, function, and flow properly. An obese person, their heart has to pump for essentially what is 2 to 3 people. So it has to pump faster, it has to pump more, and it has to pump harder. So this lowers the life expectancy of your heart. And thus, the response and the reaction is you are going to die earlier. If you're a skinny person and your body does not have to work as hard and your blood pressure is normal than average, your pulse is normal than average, you actually live longer than that of the average person because your body doesn't have to work as hard. This is why Will Hoffman, okay, the cold expert, does cold therapy a lot because it lowers your blood pressure. How does this help you? It lowers the amount of times your heart has to pump in order to keep going. And that lowering the amount of times that your heart needs to pump to keep going expands the life of your heart, allows you to live longer. Okay, this is wrong by what this person is saying. Dr. Cassie means don't listen to her. And even Bill Maher was saying, come on, let's be real. You're not healthier. So at the end of the day, I'm Mr. Rembrandt, and this is Mr. Rembrandt. Thanks for sticking around for this video. Got more videos coming up, and I hope you enjoyed that. Make sure you subscribe and like the video. Stick around for more videos. See you on the next one.